Hello everyone, thank you for watching this video. Now in this part of today's video, we're going through Sec 3 NA 2021 end of year paper 1. Right? But we'll be going through some of the harder or slightly more difficult questions, okay, or some of the questions that you have forgotten, but it's necessary to know that you must know how to do. Okay, so I shall begin with question number 3. For question number 3, we have this one down here, 2 over 5 xy square, whole thing square. Well, when we have such a factor, right, this one 2 over 5 xy square whole thing square, right? This square over here applies for all the numbers and the powers. So this will be 2 to the power of 2, which is the number 4. And then this one will be 5 to the power of 2, 5 squared, which will be a number 25. Okay, so you need to square the numbers as well. Then x squared, that will become x squared. Y squared, what is y squared whole thing square? This one, when you have these two, the brackets over here, the power multiply. So it's y to the power of 4. So this will be your final answer. Have you gotten the concept? Okay, next question. Now, this question over here, there are a couple of different negative powers or whichever. So for me, I'll try to change the power first. Now, when there is a power a to the power of -1, for example, it becomes 1 over a. This means I need to shift the position and the power from negative power become positive power. So for example, I have in this case, a to the power of -2. So what do I need to do? I need to shift this down. So I'll keep my 6 and I'll keep my 18. But originally it is 18, a to the power of 4, right? But this a to the power of 2 is now going to shift down to the bottom and make it become a positive power. So it becomes a to the power of +2. Therefore, they have to multiply together. Then next one, this one is multiplied by 3b cubed, positive power, not going to change anything. The number 9 is on its own, not going to change anything. But b to power of -3, b to power of -3, so this one, the power will need to shift to become b to the power of 3. +3 now. Okay, so you notice this one over here is shifted to the denominator. This one shifted to the numerator. Then, of course, we need to simplify our answers. Okay, numerator with numerator, so I multiply the numerators together. So 6 times 3, 18. B cubed times b cubed. Here got 3, there got 3 more. So b to the power of 6 over 18 times 9. That gives me 162. A square and A4, a to the power of 4, a to the power of 2, total that will be a to the power of 6. Okay, then we simplify 18 over 162 should be 1 over 9. Yeah, correct. So that will give me b to the power of 6 over 9, a to the power of 6. You notice I do not write the 1, okay, because a 1 is an invisible, okay, like a coefficient, I do need to write 1b. So just that will be the answer. Okay, question 4 shouldn't be difficult. So just plug in the values. So C is 6 minus 3d square. Remember, put the whole of the bracket square. So this whole thing with bracket square 25, +25. Okay, so your final answer 2 times 6 minus 3 times -5 whole thing square. That will give you -63. According to my calculator. Okay, so continue answer. Part C, not going to be a problem. We can finish it up. Question 5, part A. I want to find the smallest value of x plus y. Okay, and x squared plus y squared. Now, I'm going to explain a little bit more about x squared plus y squared. Now, we notice that this x is given from -5, the smallest value, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. What happens to all these numbers when we become x squared? Okay, when this number become x squared, this is -5 whole thing squared. Negative times negative will become positive number. So -5 whole thing squared become +25. Then this one become +16, 9, 4, 1, 0, 1, 4, 9, 16. Okay, so observe that the negative sign all have changed, right? When you square something, it's no longer negative, it's positive. Okay, and then what about our y square? Y itself is from 5 to 8. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Y square will be 5 square will be 25. 36, 49, 64. So since they want the largest x squared plus y squared, the largest x squared is actually 25 plus y squared, which is 64. So the answer will be 89. Have you gotten the answer? So please be careful about negative numbers. Next one over here, next question. This one must go through basic, although some of you might already know, but it's very, very basic and you must know and be able to score. So we are going to factorize, F for factorization, right? First thing, always check for what? Common factors. Okay, what is the common factor in this case? 2 and 18, factorize out 2. You're left with x squared minus 18 divided by 2 is 9. But look at the number of marks. 2 marks over here. It's not going to be so simple. Okay, you get 2 marks just like that. You have to notice and observe the pattern. This one is of the form x squared 9. What can you think about 9? 9 is what number squared? You think about a square minus b square. A square minus b square is not a minus b holding square. Is a plus b, a minus b, okay? They don't have bracket holding square, okay? So it's not a minus b, a minus b. Neither is it a minus b holding square, okay? It's a plus b, one plus, the other one minus. There are two squares, there are two signs. So now 9 can be changed into the number 3 square. So this is technically 3 square, x square minus 3 square, which means I have to keep my factor 2. I will have 2 brackets. X square is x times x. 9 square is 3 times 3. 1 plus, 1 minus. So this one will be your final answer. Have you gotten the answer? Next question, this one if you watch my algebra revision, topical revision worksheet, you should be able to know how to do, right? Okay, question number B, this one, there are 4 terms over here. We need to do a factorization by grouping. So we need to group the groups together. So let's choose our factors. So maybe I have 4xy with 3y, and then negative 8x with negative 6. Okay, so let me factorize out my common factor. Of course, if you want, you can change partner along the way. It doesn't matter. Okay, so in this case, I will factorize our letter y. That will be 4x plus 3. Okay, and down here, if I factorize out, oh, this is 2. Then this will be negative 4x, negative 3. But you observe the sign over here, they are not the same. So what can we do? Instead of taking a positive, sign, we're going to change this to minus, and this one become a plus, this one become a plus. So in this case, the working over here, y will be 4x plus 3 minus 2, 4x plus 3. I must always make sure that these 2 brackets over here, these 2, have the same terms and the same sign. All right, have the same terms and the same sign. Then after that, the one that is repeated, we only write 1 time. So that will be 4x plus 3. The other bracket will be y minus 2. Okay, of course, you can do in another different method, but you should be able to get the same answer with the same sign. Next, find all the possible prime numbers. What are prime number? 1 is not a prime number. Prime number must have at least 2 factors, 1 and itself. So what are prime factors? There will be 2, 3, 5, 7. 9 is not a prime number. 9 is 3 times 3, so not factor 1 itself. 9, 11, 13, so on and so forth. Okay, I don't know the numbers really. Slowly I'm going to see later. Okay, so now my question is 4 bracket x minus 9 less than equals to 4. Okay, this works just like an equation, just that when we divide by negative number, we must remember to handle our inequality sign. That's only when we divide by negative number. When you don't divide by negative number, then nothing much changes. So we'll treat this like a normal equation. So we expand out 4x minus 36, 4. Now I want to get rid of negative 36, shift this over. So 4x is lesser than 4 plus 36, which is 40, lesser than or equal to 40. Then divide by 4, x will be less than or equals to 10. So what are the prime numbers that are less than 10? Prime numbers must be bigger than 1. Okay, so in this case, what are the prime numbers? 2, 3, 5, 7. That's the track. If any students wrote 9, then they may not get the answer correct. Okay, they say find all the possible prime numbers. Now, watch out a little bit. If the question says solve the inequality for x minus 9 less than equals to 4, when they say solve, your answer blank will be the whole inequality. Copy the whole inequality, x less than equal to 10. Okay, some of you just give me the number 10, then answer is not correct. It's a whole range of answers. All right, so please take note. But this question here, they not want the inequality. They say find all the possible prime numbers. So we just take the possible prime numbers. Next question, question number 8. Congruent quadrilateral. Congruent, we must always remember to match the labeling, right? You can see this one already tells you A, B, C, D. Oops. A, B, C, D match with L, M, N, O. A, L. B, 4.8. M, 4.8. C, B to C. So this one over here, 5.4. N, O, C, and then D, 5.8. 5.4, 5.8. Then last but not least, this one, 6.2 cm. Okay, so match the different or whichever. They are congruent. Congruent means exactly same shape, same size, same length, same angle. Find the length of NO, so that will be easy, 5.8 cm. Okay, next one, PQRS is an enlargement. Enlargement became bigger, right? So when it's enlargement, you're looking for the scale factor. Scale factor is given by image over original. When it's an enlargement, it becomes from small, become big. Which one is the image? The image is the bigger one. So for scale factor, if it's an enlargement, okay, that will be your image, which is the bigger one, big over small. Right? They say PQRS enlargement of ABCD. PQRS match with ABCD. Let's see which one do we have. We have QR. QR is BC. So what's BC? BC is 5.4. So we take the ratio 8.1 and 5.4 cm. So 8.1 over 5.4 cm. That gives me the factor 3 over 2. So it's an enlargement, right? So the thing become bigger. So actually this one can be 1.5 or 3 over 2. Okay, or 1.5, but usually write in fraction. Okay. Then next question, this one is ratio. I should assume that you know how to do the ratio question. Okay, next question, let me focus a little bit more on the algebra. Question number 10, express each of following as a single fraction in its simplest form. So in its simplest form, I send you my favorite letter first. Always check. Can you factorize anything in the denominator? Look for a common factor or try to factorize the denominator. Very obvious. In this case, that is screaming to you that there's a common factor. Factorize me. Okay, pick me. 2 is the common factor over here. So in this case, the first fraction, we got nothing to change it into. But the second fraction, this one has a common factor 2. We factorize it out, and I get 2n plus n. Now, once the moment we factorize, you'll notice that, hey, this portion over here is a common factor. Then what do we need to do? We need to make them the same denominator. So this whole thing, I just need to multiply with the number, with the factor 2. So this whole thing, I need to multiply with the factor 2. Right? Let me expand my numerator, 2n plus. Remember to multiply it to the one at the back side as well. So 2 plus 10 over, you want to expand or not expand the denominator, both can, no problem. Okay, minus 3. Since this one is just a number, there's no other expression or whichever, we can combine them together. 2n plus 10 minus 3, that will give you 2n plus 7. Okay, usually we try to keep the denominator factorized, but since there are no other common factors to be cancelled, if you want to write your answers as 4n plus 2n is also correct. Both are correct answers. Okay, but I'll prefer this one. Have you gotten the concept? If you are not very sure, if you cannot remember, please do my algebra revision worksheet. Okay? I'll give you the next algebra revision worksheet. Next one more question. Simplifying this as one single fraction in its simplest form. So now over here, what do we have? This one is the number 2. This actually has a denominator is 2 over 1. So if I want to make them the same denominator, what do I need to do? I need to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by x minus 1. Not cross multiply. You only cross multiply if there's an equal sign. There's no equal sign here. You don't cross multiply. You just make the denominator the same. So it's 1 over x plus x minus 1. This one is exactly the same denominator, so I'm going to save some time. I'm going to write it together. Then this one is plus 2 times x, 2x, 2 times negative 1, negative 2. Okay, then now let's simplify this. This is x minus 1, 2x minus 1. Answer. Okay, notice the minus 1 and the minus 1 cannot cancel. Okay, they are not common factors. They are one part of the expression. Have you gotten the answer? Next question. Now, distance, speed, time, graph. Before we begin, let's recall a little bit more on distance, speed, time, graph. This is actually a speed time graph, right? From the speed time graph, okay, the gradient, the acceleration can be measured by the gradient. Okay, from the speed time graph. Then, what can we do? We can use the 2 endpoints to help you find the gradient. And the 2 endpoints, the gradient, let's say, is given already, can help you find the speed as well sometimes. Right, then the next thing, the distance that you travel equals to area under graph. Okay, these two concepts are very popularly tested. So if usually they test speed time graph question, it will be this kind of question. Okay, so please bear in mind, remember the few concepts. Now let's go through some of the questions, how to do them. The diagram above shows the speed time graph of a vehicle moving for 30 seconds. Calculate the distance traveled by the vehicle. We were saying that distance equals to area under graph. Now this shape over here is a trapezium. If you forgot how to find the area of trapezium, is it okay? Can I find the area of one triangle, area of one rectangle, area of another triangle, and then add them up together? Still can do so, right? So why not? Okay. But if you can remember the formula for trapezium, half A plus B. Oh, this one is how much? From 10 to 20, how much will this A be? That will be 10, right? And from here to here, this one will be 30. So it's 10 plus 30, the sum of the two parallel sides, times my perpendicular height, 25. Okay, half. That gives me 500. Let's read. This is meters. This seconds. This is meters per second. So multiply the area will give you meters. So it's 500 meter. Read the question. Sometimes they may want kilometer or whichever. So you might need to change units. Next, find the average speed. Average speed. Oh, average speed is given by total distance. Total, there's the word total, right? Average speed equals to total distance over your total time taken. We found the total distance 500 over the total time taken or total time 30 because the speed not constant. Okay, but for speed, we try to leave it as accurate as possible. So in this case, I will write it as a improper fraction or a mixed number. Have you gotten the answer? Next, the question is asking for acceleration. So what will we say talking about acceleration? Acceleration is the gradient of the line. So acceleration equals to gradient of the line. Gradient, then how are we going to find gradient? But they want first 5 seconds, right? Do we have first 5 seconds? Alamak, we don't have the 5 seconds. But what can we do? We can use the 2 endpoints, right? So this endpoint 0, 0, then the other endpoint that will be 10, 25. So it doesn't matter even that we don't have the speed in between, we can still use the 2 endpoints to help us find the gradient. So 0, 0, 10, 25. So y2 minus y1, which is the y, x1, y1, x2, y2. So what? 25 minus 0, 10 minus 0. Answer 2.5 meters per second square. Have you gotten the answer? Next question. Okay, now this one, trigonometry basic Tuakaso, right? Okay, let me do a quick recall. For here, we need to know our basic few Tuakaso, Tua, Ka, and so. Tangent O over A, opposite over adjacent. Then cosine CAH, sine SOH. This one you must remember. Okay, then any other thing, you have the another one, another table to help you if you have the acute angle and you have the obtuse angle. Remember, if it's sine, both of them are positive. Cosine, acute angle, one positive, the other one is negative. Tangent, acute angle positive, obtuse angle also positive. Okay, so let's read the whole question. What do we have? We have a right angle triangle over here. You notice this length over here, the hypotenuse is 9, and this length over here is 4. This also indirectly tells me that if I really want to find, I'm not sure if they will ask me to do, I can find CD using Pythagoras theorem. Now, CD is the shorter side, it's not the hypotenuse. So that will be square root, add or subtract. To get a hypotenuse, you need to add, right? So to get the two shorter sides, you will need to subtract. So it's 9 square minus 4 square. Okay, not sure if I need to use it later, so I'm just writing it down just in case. Okay, yeah, so write down. Then next one, we have a couple of things. We have this is an obtuse angle. So must take note of obtuse angle, right? Cosine, it may test you on cosine that is negative. Okay, then this one over here is an acute angle. So acute in general, all are positive. Okay, and then let's see what do they want us to find. Inside the diagram, ABC is a straight line, angle BCD is 90 degrees, then you have 4 cm and 9 cm. Write down cosine of x. Read through carefully. cosine of x, do they want the angle? Do they want a fraction? Or do they want a length in 3? Say. They want it as a fraction, am I right? So this is asking for the cosine ratio. Cosine of the angle is given by CAH, adjacent over hypotenuse. So it's just a fraction. So cosine angle x. Oh, wait a minute. Angle x itself is obtuse. Right, so obtuse angle, obtuse and cosine, there we must have a negative side, Then, but this angle is not 90 degree, we don't have a right angle triangle, so we're going to use the angle beside it, the acute angle. Cosine of this angle, where is the adjacent? The adjacent will be here, that will be opposite, then this is the hypotenuse. So A over H, negative A over H, that will be 4 over 9. Negative 4 over 9. Have you gotten the answer? Anyone remember to put the negative sign? Very good. Those who put 4 over 9, okay, forgotten the negative sign. Even worse, anyone went to cos inverse and find the angle? They didn't say to find the angle, so please read the question. Okay, next one. They ask you to find y. Now, what is y? Y is an angle. So this is looking for an angle. So then we need the, when you find angle, what do you know? We need to use the inverse. Do you still remember? Okay, the power minus 1. So let's see for angle y, what side measurement we have. If it's, this one I erase away. Okay, maybe I put a different color. Okay, if it's angle y, over here, the side opposite to it, this is O, and this is forever my hypotenuse. So I have O and H. So and so which one got O and H? This one, right? So we have sine, and we want to find angle, so we use sine inverse. In order to find the angle y, sine inverse. SOH, opposite, 4, hypotenuse 9, 4 over 9. Then press your calculator. Since this is an angle, so for angle, you will have a 1 decimal place. Please make sure your calculator is in the degree mode. Okay, in case you'll find the wrong answer, 26.4. Right, since they want to find the angle, so but the y already have a degree sign to it. Notice the y already got degree, so they will say find the value of y, we're not going to write degree anymore. Okay? Have you gotten the concept? Next question. This one over here is slightly a little bit harder, but it's doable. You just follow the cues for the question. What the question say, then you plug it inside. Question tell you if x equals to 2 is a solution. That means if I plug it inside, x equals to 2 inside my equation, my left-hand side will be equal to my right-hand side, which is actually equal to 0. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sub x equals to 2 into my equation. So if I sub x equals to 2, this will be 2 squared minus p times 2 plus 6 equals to 0. 2 squared is the number 4. P times 2, 2p plus 6 equals to 0. 4 plus 6, 10 minus 2p equals to 0. Negative 2p equals to negative 10. Divide away negative. Divide away 2p equals to 5. Okay, so you have your answer. Find the value of p, 5. Hence, find the other solution. What do you mean by hence? Meaning I have to use the answer here, right? Okay, meaning I have to use this answer here. So where does this answer go to? So my equation is x squared minus px plus 6 equals to 0. They say using your answer hence, right? Hence. So my p now becomes the number 5. So it's x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals to 0. They want a solution. meaning I need to solve this equation. How to solve this? I need to factorize using your calculator or your cross method, both can. What could be the answer? Two ways to get answer, no? 3 and 2. Okay, let me try 3 and 2. Or is it 6 and 1? There are many couple different answers, 6 and 1. Okay, let's say I do 6 and 1. Y'all don't do first. This is 6x. This is 1x. I get 5x negative plus. It looks normal and looks like it's fitting. But if you were to use this sign, this is negative, this is positive, you'll notice that this one become minus 6. Do they tally? No, they don't tally. So in this case, 6 and 1 actually cannot work. So working out the sign itself is actually very important. Okay, it helps you decide whether is the answer really correct or not. So what we're going to do, I'm going to do 3 and 2 now. 3x, 2x. I want negative 5x, both are negative. Negative plus negative give you positive 6. Therefore, my two answers are x minus 3, x minus 2 equals to 0. They want the answer, right? So x minus 3 equals 0, x equals to 3, x equals to 2. Question say find the other solution. Where's the other? We already got 1. This is given. So which one is the other solution? This is given. So the other solution will be x equals to the number 3. Have you gotten the concept? So there are quite a little bit of the mental sum and whichever for you to go through. So please take note. Next question. Number pattern. All right. We have to see whether we can remember. Let's try to decipher this. Study the following sequence and draw diagram for on the space below. What happened? Oh, this one 1, 2, 3, 4. Then what happens? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They expanded out one dot here. Then they expanded out one more dot, one dot, right? Oh, they added 3 dots. Then after this, they expand this one again. Then they expand again, add another 3 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this one you notice plus 3, plus 3. The next one should have 13. Let me draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. Oops, too big. Then a 1, 2, 3, original one. Then add 2 more on top. Okay, not very pretty, but yeah, that's it. Okay, so this one should be the number of study and then draw in the space below, so the sequence. Write down expression in terms of n for the number of dots. What do you notice? You notice this is plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. So in this case, my number pattern will be plus 3n, right? And I need to find the term. What number plus 3 can give me 4? What number plus 3 can give me 4? Oh, the first term, the term 0 over here is 1. So this one is actually 1 plus 3 equals to 1 plus 3n. Right? So if it's minus 2, minus 2, minus 2, then there'll be minus 2n. Then you find your first term. Using your answer in part 2, write down a number of dots in diagram number 80. So what's the diagram? The 18, the n will now be equals to 80. So at term 80, diagram 18, 80, that will be 1 plus, using this answer, 3 times 80. Then you get 241 dots. Have you gotten the answer? Okay, let me go through one more page before I stop for a quick break. Okay, then I'll go through this. Right, last part of the question for this part of the video, we have a simultaneous equation. 5x minus 6y equals to 3, x plus 2y equals to 15. There are many different methods that students like to do. Some students like to do substitution, some students like to do simultaneous equation. So while I still have the time, I shall do one by one. First, let me try to use substitution. When I can actually find it useful to use substitution, when I notice that, oh, I have a number, a letter x or letter y on its own without any number in front. So I don't want to make it a fraction or anything. So I can just easily make x the subject. Right, so I have equation 1, equation 2. So from equation 2, let me do substitution now. This one is substitution. From equation 2, make x the subject. If x is equal to subject, so x will stay here, 2y will shift over, that will become 15 minus 2y. Now I'm going to sub this expression. This came from 2, right? I'll sub x into equation number 1 now. So 5 times x minus 6y equals to 3. Every time I see the x, I change it to 15 minus 2y. Let's multiply these. 5 times 15. That will give me 75. 5 times 2, 10y minus 6y equals to 3. Right? Then I'll put my numbers aside. So this negative 16y minus 10 minus 6 is not minus 4. Then subtract 10 points, subtract another 6. So that is subtract 16, okay? Then 75 go over there is minus 75. So undo addition, you minus. 3 minus 75 gives me negative 72. Then now I want to get y. I divide by negative 16. My answer is 4.5. Okay, so after I found y already, what am I going to do? I'm going to substitute and find x. So x is now 15 minus 2 times 4.5, which is 9. 15 minus 9, that will be 6. So your answer, x is equals to 6, y is equals to 4.5. Have you gotten the answer? Now, sometimes the answer may end up to be a fraction or whichever. It's okay, as long as keep the original exact value. Whether you want to use decimal or fraction, it doesn't matter. But of course, if your decimal is not exact, then you will leave it in fraction. Okay, so that's one method. Okay, but now I'm going to do another different method. Let's say some of us want to do by elimination. So when we want to solve an equation by elimination, right, we need to make the terms of the equation, the number, the coefficient, the same, right? So either I make x units the same, or I can make y units the same. Both are possible. Okay, let me try. So which one do you want to make it the same? Okay, I'll do the one that has possible careless mistake. Okay, and then tell you. Then maybe I'll go through two lah. Okay, so let's say if I'm gonna make x the same lah, right? So this one is 5x. So here what do I need to do? I need to multiply by 5 to every single term. Okay, so by elimination, take number 2, I multiply by 5 to every single term. That will become 5x, 10y, 5 times 15 times 5, 75. Then I write down my equation. So this one will become equation 3. Then I write down my equation 1. 5x minus 6y equals to 3. This one equation 1. Then I look at this. Look at the units of the subject that you want to make. So this one over here, this is a plus. So same sign, subtract. SSS. Same sign, I'm going to subtract. Okay, subtract. So what is this? 5x minus 5x, no more. But this one over here is 10y minus negative 6y. This is the part, the careless mistake where students will make. Then they forgotten about the negative sign and then they do the whole thing correctly, but then actually end up wrong value. Okay, then 75 minus 3, that will give you 72. So positive 16y minus become plus, equals to this. Then y equals to 4.5. Then you can plug it into any one of the equation and find the value for x. So for example, I can plug in x plus 2 times 4.5 equals to 15. X equals to 15 minus 9, 6. Okay. Now this one is first type of simultaneous solving by elimination, right? So if I make x the same. Now let's ask what happens if I make y the same. Okay, y the same. Right, now if I'm going to make y the same, okay, I must look at the terms involving y, okay, and the sign. So let's look at the coefficient, the number first. This is 6, this is 2. So if I want to make them the same number of units, I'll multiply by 3 throughout. So I take equation 2, I times 3, that will give me 3x, 6y, 45. Then I write down my equation 1, 5x, 6y, oh, this is minus 6y, 3. Equation 1. Then what do? We look at the whole of y, the sign over here, 1 positive 6 unit, 1 negative 6 unit. Different sign at DSA, different sign, you add them together. So adding them together, that will give me 3 plus 5, 8x. 45 plus 3, 48. X equals to 48 divided by 8, 6. Answer. Then you can plug into whichever equation you want. So here says x plus 2y is equals to 15. So 2y equals to 9, y equals to 4.5. We still get the same answer. Have you gotten the answer? Okay, with that, I shall stop here for part 1 of our video, and then we'll continue the next part of the paper in the next video. I'll see you the next time. Bye.